People quite often want to do the paving themselves to try and save themselves a bit of money. This example here, you can really see some of the consequences of that. So you can see they've done the paving themselves. This is down the side of a house, so it doesn't really, you can imagine, it doesn't really make a lot of difference what it looks like. It's more just to keep the dirt away from the house, which obviously makes sense. But if we look at the actual house, the paving itself, the thing to understand, a lot of people think paving's there just to, stop our feet getting dirty, but it's actually there to protect the house. So if you look at this particular paving here, if you can get down low enough, it's a little bit wonky, to say the least. Also, what it's actually meant to be doing is causing the water to flow away from the house. And there's definitely sections there where it doesn't slope away from the house. So potentially when it rains, the water might pool up and potentially could go towards the house. And what that means is it may have potential to undermine the footings of the house, which is, the danger with that is you might have cracking or a whole pile of issues down the track might happen because of a resulting of that. The other thing to bear in mind is there's something else here you can see, which is a bit of a plastic, and you've probably noticed this before but not necessarily knowing what it's for. This thing here, this bit of plastic here, this is called damp-proof course. So it's actually there to, when it rains, the water's going to hit the bricks of the house, or in this case some render, and the water's going to slide down the side of the house because it's because it's a porous material. And what that means is it's going to slope down, and then it's actually going to hit that plastic. And then once it hits that plastic, it's going to come out of the plastic and then hit the pavers and then slope away from the house. So, which is all good. In this particular instance, if we look at what's happened down here, they've got the plastic slightly above the pavers, which in reality the building code says it has to be 50 millimeters or between 50 and 75 millimeters below that damp-proof course. So in this instance, it is actually higher than where it should be. Saying that, it's still better than otherwise, where it's just down here. You can actually see, the pavers are actually higher than where the plastic is. So you can imagine then has a potential, if that builds up with water, the water might actually go above where the plastic is, and obviously the plastic's there to try and catch the water and then pull it away from the house. So you can imagine the issue associated with that. And then likewise here, the next door neighbour, you can see they don't actually have any pavers down the side of their house. They've just got dirt. And actually, what that means is water can actually get underneath the footings of the house and potentially undermine the footings and causing it to erode the foundations, which can then, likewise, what happens then is legally, the builders have a warranty on the house to try and cover the structural integrity of the house. But if you haven't put pavers down the side of the house or concrete around the outside of the house, then you're not protecting the house as per you should. And if you haven't done it within 3 months, then they can then void their warranty. So it is not such a good thing. We talked about, this one here is better because actually, the dirt is down lower than where that damp-proof course is. But then where they've got wrong is they haven't actually done their pavers, and likewise, they've got this build-up of plant over time. And there's going to be a couple of issues with that. Potentially it could undermine the footings, and secondly, it could also can result in things. So the other reason why when we talked about it's between 50 and 75 mils below the damp-proof course, the bit of plastic down the side of the house. The other reason you want to do that is because termites don't like the light, and so when they're going to try and get into your house, they're going to come and build little tunnels to get into your house. So by having paving there, that's called what they call a physical barrier. So it's actually going to stop the termites getting through. Well, it doesn't stop them, but you'll be able to see them building their little tunnels trying to get into your house. So if you see that little tunnel there, then to call in the termite or pest inspector, and they'll come and get rid of the termites. When you've got the situation where you don't have any, you firstly haven't dropped it down 75 millimeters, and secondly you don't have any pavers, potentially the termites can climb into your house and you might not even know about it, and so it can cause a problem down the track. So you can see why it would have seemed like a good idea to try and do their paving themselves, or maybe not even do it, to try and save themselves a bit of money. But you can see down the track it's actually going to cause them potentially a lot more grief down the track and a lot more issues. So hopefully you can learn by this, and like I said, this isn't particularly uncommon, so I won't hold it too much against them, because it is pretty, as I see lots of houses, there's a lot of issues out there with similar sort of scenarios. But it's definitely something you need to look out for if you're purchasing a house, but also if you're building a house and you're thinking about doing stuff yourself, just to make sure you get it done right. So if you liked what I had to say, then click on the like button. If you haven't liked it, still click on the like button, because I really appreciate it. And if you know someone that's thinking about building and trying to save themselves a few dollars, or that there's you've got a similar sort of issue with yourselves, then perhaps click on the share button, because I'm sure other people would appreciate knowing a little bit more. And if you've got a similar sort of situation, you've got that at your house, or you've seen that at other people's houses, then I'd love to know more about it, and I'd love for you to put a comment in the comment box. Or if you've got something you want me to talk about, put a comment in the comment box too. I'm happy to chat about that. So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to catching you next time. Bye.